Right now. Okay, so let me open my SmartID. Okay, so this is my SmartID, as you can see. It says up here, SmartID. And every time you run the SmartID, you're going to have a wizard, which is going to walk you through, helping you out, selecting what kind of design you want to create, what kind of badge. So we have the single side. It can be landscape like you can see right here or portrait. Also, we have the dual side, depending if your printer has the capability of doing dual side printing. So you gotta check on that before like you create a template. Also, you can see right here you have the option to start this wizard every time you open the program. You can uncheck it at any time, but it's really useful to have it there and just for helping you out sometimes in case you forget something. So once you select what kind of template you will be creating, you can just click on next. So on this case, we're gonna be doing a dual side template. Um, I'm going to select portrait just for this testing purposes. So right here we have like these different options, encoding options, which is something that you're gonna be available depending on what kind of printer you have. So that's all, again, that's something you will have to check with your printer before you create the template. You can have the option of doing the Magus Tribe encoding, the contact with the contact chip. We have the contactless also with the for proximity cards, and we have like the mixed combination of them. Like you can see the Max Tribe with the contact chip, with the contactless, and like all three of them. And all depends like what kind of card you're using, of course, before creating any of these templates. So you will know what kind of data you will be adding to the cards. Okay, so for this, we'll be doing just a plain card, but also I'm going to show you how to use some of these functions as I go. Okay, so I'm just gonna click on next. We have different templates, so you can just use them as a guide. Okay, so I'm going to use the blank one, and you will get like the same options if you select landscape as well. So I'm just gonna click on next, and here you have the option to select what kind of printer you have. Like if you have only one printer installed, it's fine. Just select that one. But right here I have multiple printers available, so I will be selecting 51, and I do have the option right here. You can see since I selected the dual side template, I already have that option selected, and you can see right here also is portrait. So my template is blank, so it's empty. So I just gotta put the name. So this is gonna be my test one, and it's gonna show you where the location where the project will be saved. And as you can see, also the encoding type, I didn't pick one of them, so it's gonna be unknown. Okay, so once I go to the wizard, I just click on confirm, and you see this option, it just light up because I selected dual side. If I wouldn't select single side, it will be just like one side, but now I have the option available. Uh, if you like, let's say you would have started without doing the wizard, the first thing you would have done is going to file and setting up your printer to make sure you have the right template at the time when you start. So right here, okay, I have to change that on my settings. Since I don't have a printer connected right now, that's why it doesn't pull the options right away. So I'm just gonna go to my devices and printers and make sure I have the proper settings. Like most of the times, like when you want to change the preferences on your printer, you will go right here to the control panel, hardware and sound, and then devices and printers to go to the the printer you want to configure. So you will go just to the printing preferences, and this is another place where you can do the setup. And I don't have the dual side option available right now. I still don't have the printer connected, like I said. But I still can make a dual side template. That part is fine. Okay. Here you can see I have some options. So sometimes I'm gonna be doing a color template. I can select color unless I was just doing like a black and white, just like adding information to a card, just for like a identification. Here, at the time of making the template, you may want to rotate the whole batch to match whatever you have on the backside, and you may want to rotate it just to for that purpose. Also, we have the option for the overlay, which is a clear cover of the card that will help protecting the card so it lasts longer. We have different options regarding that in case you wanna create. You have another type of card like a smart card, so you don't wanna cover like the smart chip in case you had one. We got like different configurations, of course, and that's something you will check like depending on what kind of card you have, what kind of printer also. Okay,
Mhm.
so in this case, I'm gonna leave it. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, so here, this part is something that the printer, the software and the drivers will find out from the printer, like whatever type of ribbon you install on the printer, um, you will have that set up on here. So if you put a YMCKO ribbon, which is a color ribbon with an overlay, it's gonna show up right here right away without you having to make that change. Right now, I have selected YMCKOK. That K on the back will mean it's printing color on the front and then black on the back. And we also have like many configurations as you can see right here, but that's gonna
So
change depending on what kind of ribbon you have installed. Yes.
okay, so our cards are only one-sided.
Okay.
So this IMKO is the we're gonna use. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that will be the best one. Yes, for your case, then you will be using the YMCKO, which is gonna allow you to use color and black on the front. So
Okay.
okay, then I'm going to be setting that up as a YMCKO, which is gonna match your settings. So right here, this option, partial or standard, this is only if you were gonna be using black on the front, which is gonna be helping you save some ribbon on the front. But this is not your case. But it's also good to know that you have the option available. It doesn't matter if you keep on partial, it's gonna do it by itself. But if you keep on standard, it's just gonna be printing normal, like nothing happened. Right here, you can
Can
see like
we
the speed.
can we
Hmm.
decide like the writing on our cards? Like the pictures have color and our logo has color, but the writing is just black. Is
Yes,
that? Can I
I
choose
will
that?
be showing you that. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so here's like the basics about the drivers. This part you don't have to set it up. The driver will know depending on the printer. So all this part you will have it set up as soon as you start. So I'm just gonna click on OK. Let me just move this away from here. And yeah, so I'm just gonna click OK here. And we're gonna have the single side, like you said, you're having. And first, let's start like if you're gonna be creating a lot of badges using a database, which I believe you will, right?
I'm sorry.
So
Repeat
on
that.
so I assume you're gonna be creating badges based on a database with like information of your employees.
Yes.
Okay, so in this case, we're gonna start like adding, like you mentioned, the company logo. So if it's a picture or you wanna like make a new design, you have the options right here. Like, if you were using PowerPoint, you can just make your own right here, or just add a picture with the logo, which is something I can do right here. So let's say I'm gonna be putting a logo. So it's gonna open up a window asking me to browse to a location where I can find a logo, and I can just use as my logo for reference. So let's say this is my logo of my company, and that image right there is gonna be the same for each car.
Mhm.
Then I'm gonna show you how you can do an input field, which is gonna be changing based on the database you will have attached to the template. So now we're gonna select. Let's say you wanna put like the company logo. For this, I'm just gonna put as a sample our company IDP, and I'm gonna click OK. So if I wanna make any changes, I will have options right here on the right side, and also some options on the front. So depending on what I have selected on the screen on the template, these options are going to be changing. So I will have options for my text or for my picture, as you can see. So right here, I have the options to select which panel I want to print. Let's say that picture I want it on black, is going to be on black only. But since I want it with color, I can just leave it as color, which it comes by default. So you don't have to like set that up. This, unless I want to like change the color of the letter, that will change. Right here, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, and also I have the option to make it bold and change like whatever type of letter I wanna put. So these fields right here, this is just a static field. So they are going to be the same for each batch you create, unless you have a different template and you change the information.
Okay,
Now,
so I have a quick
mhm,
question. On our
okay,
badges that we have now, we have our company name, and then we have 2 lines of writing under that. So for your
yeah,
IDP,
that's possible.
okay,
hmm Yeah, if you want to have like any type of writing, you have like plenty of space right here. Like this is the same like size of the card. So if you have the writing, like, can you tell me the writing you have for the company? Like just a few words.
the first line says community integrated.
Okay. And okay, and type okay, and that's something that pretty easy to adjust. Okay, so we can put that to the left side.
So, and like on our cards, it's right directly under the where your IDP
Oh,
is.
okay. So if I put it right here, or if you wanna align it, like you have the option to align. Well, yeah. If you like didn't have, do you have it like right in the middle?
No, it's up right, like,
Oh, okay. Oh, so it was like a lucky guess right there. Okay, but in case like you have like something in the middle, you have the option right here to align to do the auto alignment. If you want like something like right in the middle.
can you
Well,
move it up
okay,
further?
so
Like on our badges, there's no spaces in between. Can you do that or no?
what you mean the spaces? Like for the next letter?
Yeah, like it's one thing. Like we have our logo and then our company name and then community integrated, and under that is neuro rehabilitation. So it's right like there would be no space in between that.
What do you mean? Do you mean like that close?
Yeah,
Something
kind of
like
like
that?
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something you can make. Like whatever you can see here, like if you see a click right here, that's how it's gonna look.
Okay, so if I wanted to move that over so it's centered right under the IDP, I could do that.
Yeah, as long as there's nothing like blocking it, like let's say I put this picture on the front, like
Oh, right,
you
yeah.
shouldn't have no problem. And even if you put on the front, this is gonna be printed on the black, and you're still gonna be able to see it. Okay, so I can leave that right now. So now I guess you will have like the person's picture, right?
Right.
After okay, so after that we're gonna have like okay the employee's picture, and on this case I will cancel right here the browse, and I'm going to right click and make this an input field, which is gonna be for pictures, which is gonna be changing for each person you add, and you can see like this option right here, it turns red. Let's see if I can put a bigger for you.
So that's what
Oh
I want to
gosh.
do. I just want to put picture in there
Mhm.
in that box.
Yeah, now it's an input. You can put whatever you want. So when you go to the database, you will connect the selection for the pictures with the with whatever you name this part. So let's say I just put pit or image. I just connected with the which I'm gonna show you in a minute. So after the picture, you will have probably like the name of the person. So sometimes like the best option will be if you have one like right in the middle, just like go all the way to the edges and make sure you put the name like right in the middle. So right click and I have the option right here. Just add a new field. The other option will be is click right here where it says option. Click on input field, and here it's gonna show me like all the input fields I'm gonna be making. So I click right here like this object and double click right here, and I'm gonna add name. And do you have the names connected, or do you have name and last name?
We have first and
It's like
last name.
okay, but do you have it on the same block or separate?
No, it's on the same block.
Okay. 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 So I'm gonna put right here. I click right here. You see that selector. This is selected. I click right here. Connect field. And you see how that it shows up. It says name,
So
but
this
it's
is
with a red.
so
Go
I
ahead.
need this with each just on the first card or
Yeah, this is the design. This we do this only once. After that, when you have the design done, you will go to the database and you will have like you see how it creates like each field as I go. So it's gonna be picture, name, and it's only one time. Then let's say I add one person just for test, save and close. This will be like that. This will be like what's gonna happen when you add the information of the person. So
okay.
for each person you add, the let's say the picture, name, and all the information is that is not an input field is gonna be changing for each person. So if I keep on going right here, so let's say I have the name, and it's pretty much like the same thing for like the input fields you have, even if you have a barcode. Do you have a barcode on your car?
We don't have any barcodes or anything.
Okay. Well, just so you know, like the option is available. We do have like the barcodes. We have two the barcodes and the SQR codes also. So for this, I'm gonna type ID, which I do have a database that I will be connecting to this template just to show you. So I'm gonna put ID right here, and I'm gonna. So this is gonna be ID right here. Input field. Okay. Okay. Also, um, what else do you have on your cards?
Under the name we have the job title.
Okay, so I'm gonna put, let me close this right here and just right click. So job title. Oh, it has to be together. Oh, so title only. Okay, okay, okay. So I do have something else that I'm going to add that I have in my database, and I'm gonna add right here last name. Okay, title, and also I'm going to add right here. Input, so, login, right here. Input. Okay, so this is pretty much like what a basic car would look like.
Mm.
So the text we can all configure all of them at once. So this right here, like, if you want to like keep the same size for all of them, like the same type of letter, and maybe you just want the name, the title on black. So we can save this project. Yes, I want to save. And now what I'm going to do, this is how like it will look like, but this is the one I created. I don't need this. I will be connecting with a database. But like as you can see right here, I have the fields I already made. So I'm going to file right here. I'm gonna click on database, and I'm gonna import my database from Excel, which I already have. So I'm gonna go to my desktop. And if you ever like need help like setting this up, I'll be happy to help you. And do you have like all your database on Excel or on any other program?
I honestly don't know since I didn't set it up.
Oh, okay. Okay, so as you can see, I'm trying to import my database. This is what I made before. So this is a small database. So I'm going to be connecting just the field with the names right here. I already labeled them. So the picture, I do not have a picture right here, but I do have like all the other fields. Name, have the ID, got the title, last name, date of birth. What is yeah, okay, and I can just click on import. Yes, yes, yeah. I already imported my records. So once I go to my database, you can see all the information is here. So there are two different ways to add the pictures to the database. One, it will be the manual way, which is like just double click right here and you just browse to each picture. So you just look at the picture of the person, you will add it, and you can see it's already here. So you can see like the information change for each person,
Mhm.
and it will be that same process. And whenever you print something, it's gonna stay on record. And every time you open the program, the information is gonna be available. Like the only time you set this up, like I mentioned before, is only the first time. You don't have to mess with this once it's perfect, like the way you like it. You don't have to touch this anymore.
Okay.
So let's say right here, like if you want it like bigger, like the titles, something, like okay, this option. Okay, so make it a little bit bigger, and, and also sometimes they all have like the whole space. You don't see like part of the name being cut off. Okay, perfect. As soon as I make a change right here on this side, I can go to the database and you'll see the change right away.
Okay.
Okay, and let's say are you gonna be doing any kind of encoding on your area?
No.
Okay, but well, so we have you have the option right here to add magnetic encoding also, so that's something you can select from your database. So you just like have to make sure you enable the track where you're gonna be encoding. Like in case you were, you just right click on it and you connect it with the field you want the data to be encoded with. Well, you have to make sure you select the database is gonna take care of the rest. Okay. And that's something pretty simple in case you were doing that. So right here, you also have like many options to make more changes. Like
Okay.
even well, based on whatever you selected, like I said before, the options will be changing over here on the right side. You can move, you can make borders. Yeah, you will have like way more options, like depending on whatever kind of batch you will be making. Um, the other way I mentioned before about importing pictures to the database will be having making sure you already have the pictures attached to the database. If you were using Excel, the only way to do that is to create a hyperlink, which I'm gonna show you how to do that. It's like really simple. It will be like pretty much the same thing as browsing them uh, one by one. Let me show you. Okay, so this is my database right here. And if I was adding pictures, I just have to right click on right here, like whatever is on top is what the software is gonna find as the label, like I showed you before. And
Okay.
that's how you're gonna be connecting that with the data. Well, that's how you're gonna be connecting the database with the template. So I just right click right here. I go all the way down to hyperlink. Then I make sure I look for the picture I want to attach to the file. This is the only way you can attach a picture directly to Excel because the Excel wasn't designed to hold pictures like within the software. That's why
Okay.
you have to create a link and save the information there. Put my pictures here, and whatever picture I select, you can see it's on blue, and that's why it's a hyperlink. So you just click, it's just gonna open it up. So when you try to, let me save this. I'm gonna try to import. So once, okay, so this is my database. This is what I already have. I'm going to file, I'm going to database, then import Excel. This option right here, MDB, that's if you were using Microsoft Access, which is a software where you can add pictures. We are like for every table you create. Like when you create a table, You will have all the contact information, and you can add pictures as well for each one of them.
Now, what we do right now is we just take pictures with a regular digital camera, and then we upload it
Okay.
as a JPEG.
Okay, so you will have the option for the software. That will be great because you can do it directly. Well, first we will have to check if the camera is compatible, but that option should be available. Like if you click on sorry, so when you add a new badge, let's say if you're adding it that way, you will have the option if you have a camera right here, just to take the picture directly from the software and save it right here. Or you can take the picture, save it as a JPEG, and just double click and browse for the picture, which is pretty simple. And I think that way will work better for you. So you have the picture saved on a folder, and you can have access to it like anytime. And so far, do you have any questions?
I don't think so, but I think as I'm
Mhm.
creating the design and everything, I'm probably gonna have questions then.
Okay, so for what you can see here, like the options are pretty simple. Like when you have your design right here, you can print right away just to see how your design looks like, as you can see
Mhm.
right here. But it won't have the data. So maybe one day you can print something from here, and you'll be like, "Oh, where's my data?" Since this is just a template, and you can see all these red letters that just input field, they're gonna be empty until you come to the database where they are connected with the true data you're gonna be printing. Right here, well, you will have the options for the design. This right here, these are the options depending on what kind of ribbon you have installed on your printer. So you have like the option right here for the UV. This is for a secure this is a secure ribbon which it has a UV color. Then you can see only with a UV light, like flashlight. The one with the blue. I don't know if you have seen it before.
No, I've never seen it.
Yeah. So also we have right here like the overlay option, which is the clear panel for protection. We can also use the panel, the overlay panel, to create designs just to make it more secure. So if we go right here to view, and you wanna see the overlay panel only, we move this. It will be kind of blue, but I don't know if you can see. It doesn't show right here. But you see how it's a little grayed out? It means like this panel will be like covering everything.
Okay.
Okay. If you go to the drawing, uh, you will have more options when you're like you have your designs right here on your barcodes. When we go to edit, we will be like pretty much almost the same thing on what I just did right now. The the object I had selected, it was selected for color, but I click right here overlay, so it's gonna go to a different panel. So I just gotta select back to color in case there is something disappear from the your design. So we go right here for view. If you wanna have a background directly on the card that doesn't move, you can set that up right here on the option. So you can have like your background color. So let's say you have, do you have a background color on your card?
No.
Okay, so that option is also available. You have any color you want. Let's do blank. And here, like I mentioned before, this is the options for the magnetic stripe. If in case you have the, if you wanna like any option to the printer as a Ethernet, if you wanna make the printer a internet printer that you can share with the other stations, if you wanna add an encoder or anything else, you just send the printer in. You only have to buy the parts, and we do the installation right here. for free.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the pretty much the basics with the software. And if you want, let me get that link ready for you, and I'm gonna be sending you the link with the latest version I have right now, which is you can see the version right here. Oh, right, and about I got the 2017 1211. It came out like pretty recent, and you should be good to go. So I'm gonna let you play a little bit with the software, and if you have any questions, you can give me a call back at any time.
Okay, now how do I start again to do the like
The
to
template,
start?
okay. So let me close this. I'm gonna save the project. So as soon as you click on you browse for the well, if you will have an icon on the screen, just call SmartID, and once you open it, it's gonna come with the template on the front, and it's gonna have this template wizard, which you can cancel. You can do that like anytime, but remember before like moving forward, you have to make sure you save whatever changes you make here before moving to database. So I'm right here. I have to. The first thing will be setting up the printer. So I go to print setup, make sure that I set up the right printer. Let me just pick 70 for this purpose, and just gotta make sure everything is the way I want. Everything is okay. If I want this to be different, I want it like portrait. I just change it to portrait. Click OK. Or click OK again. And now the printer, the template is set up to my printer, and that's when I start.
Okay.
And then yeah, you just start like getting whatever you need. Like this is will be for the picture, text, barcodes, and these are like just the different shapes, like for whatever
And you
reason you want
said
to use them.
like our
Mhm.
logo is a JPEG file, so I can just click that picture, like use
Yeah, and just click
image.
right here. Make sure you just like click on drag,
Yeah. Mhm.
and then you just select it. You can even have a face as a logo, whatever.
Okay.
And then right here, yep.
Okay.
And then here's the option. If you wanna make like a little circle, so the yellow right here is the option. If you have like something square and you wanna round that,
Okay.
the option is also available. Okay, now do you have another question?
No, I don't think. So set up the printer first, and we only have one printer, so
Okay, and I believe would it be a Smart 50 printer?
it's a smart. Yeah.
Okay, and the printer is already installed on your computer.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you wanna? Okay, I can help you right now installing the printer on your installing the new software, if you want.
Okay.
So let me just click right here, and I'm going to make. Okay, just let me check. Child, send this. Can just click right here. Record.